Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time visiting, please take a moment to subscribe so that you can be alerted to future videos. Today, I'm going to be tackling the issue of whether or not you need to have an agent if you're trying to get published. And it depends entirely on what it is your goals are and what you're trying to accomplish as an author. For example, if you're trying to get published with a huge publishing house in New York, you might need to get an agent in order to open those doors for you. There are a lot of publishing houses that don't accept unsolicited manuscripts, and in those cases, then you will need to have an agent first before you're going to be able to get a contract with those publishers. However, in recent years, some of these publishers have begun to accept unsolicited manuscripts. Publishers like this include Harper Collins, who for some of their imprints, they will accept unsolicited manuscript, like for example for Avon Impulse. Now, something to consider, however, is that while getting an agent can be great in terms of furthering your career and, getting the attention of the publishing houses you'd like to be published with, they don't come for free. They will take roughly 15% of your earnings. So that is something to keep in mind, that you will have to give up part of your salary to the agent who's working for you. That being said, it's in the agent's best interest to work as hard as possible in order to get you the book deals of your dream, because their salary is tied directly to yours. So by pushing you, they will be earning more than they would if they didn't care about you, right? So it makes sense that an agent is going to want to try to do as much as possible for you and for your career, but it does come at a price. That being said, getting an agent is not a quick or easy process. It takes time. You have to write them a query letter. You have to submit your manuscript. They will have to read it and see if they're passionate about your story, because if they're not passionate, then it's going to be very difficult for them to sell it to a publishing house. So all of this takes time, and even me, like when I went through a phase of considering whether I should maybe look into getting an agent, I actually emailed several and I didn't hear back from many of them. They, like, regardless of the fact that I wrote that I had published numerous books before through Harper Collins, that didn't seem to matter. They just weren't interested in taking me on as a client. So it's not that easy to get an agent, and it will make your publishing process, at least for the first book, it's going to draw it out, because first you'll need to get the agent, and then the agent is going to have to work on getting you the publishing deal with the publisher. So all of this takes time. You have to consider a year and a half or so at least before your book is even ready to be edited by the publishing house, before you're ready to sign a contract with them and start working on the book. And then another 6 months after that, you're looking at publication. So you need to just sit back, relax, and brace yourself for, spending a lot of time on this. It's time consuming. So if you don't want to do this, if you don't want to spend the time, if you want to get published as quickly as possible, there is the option of self-publishing, of course, and a lot of authors have done this very successfully, and it's become so much easier now that you can publish through Amazon, through Barnes & Noble, and you can even publish print books through these companies. So all of this makes it easier for authors. It gives authors more options, plus selling through Amazon or Barnes & Noble, selling your own books online without having a publisher as a middleman, will give you a higher percentage of the royalties than if you were to go through a traditional publisher. So as of right now, I don't have an agent. I've never had an agent, and I don't really plan on acquiring one either. Whether that's going to change in the future remains to be seen. It's possible that I'll want to give it a try just to see, what it's like to have one. But at the moment, I really don't want to give up 15% of my salary to someone else. So I'd rather do as much as I can on my own and self-publish if that's the only other option, And I've done this, I've done it successfully, and I know that you can too. So you have to just sit, figure out what your goals are, what it is you want to accomplish as an author, whether acquiring an agent is necessary, whether you need one to get into that publishing house that you so desperately want to get into, the #1 favorite, you know, you might need an agent for that. And so I've also spoken to other authors. Most of my author friends have agents, and according to them, these agents have helped them, and some have even said that they wouldn't be where they are today without them. So it's definitely something to consider. I would maybe make a list of the pros and cons, go online, find out exactly what having an agent involves, and remember that with an agent you'll have an additional contract, and so the more contracts I feel that there are is like the more obligations you have towards different people, towards the agent, towards the publisher, and the more tied down and limited you are in terms of what you can go do on your own. So that's just something to keep in mind, and you know, just my opinion. So if this has been helpful to you, then please remember to like this video and subscribe so you can be alerted to future videos. And thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Take care. Bye.